I have 43 years of software development experience. 27 as a professional. Last 8-9 years or something, I got almost 20,000 commits towards GitHub, and there's roughly 50 to 100 software developers on Earth with equally many hours as me currently alive. So purely counting hours, I'm probably one of the top 50 most experienced software developers currently alive. I'm not saying that to brag in any ways whatsoever. I hope it doesn't come across that way. I just want you to understand my background, because I think it is time that we get real about vibe coding. Now, on the other hand, though, I have created and developed the vibe coding tool, and I will demonstrate it later in this video and show you how it works. So you could argue that my financial incentives would be to advocate this to everyone, and I am doing that. However, I want to talk about one very specific subject in this video, which is the idea of that you can fire junior software developers or get rid of them or something like that, and replace them with AI, or fire software developers at all. AI is a tool, right? Now I know how to use a hammer and a saw, right? I mean, you probably know too, right? However, can you use the hammer and that saw equally well as, you know, your cousin carpenter guy? Of course not, right? Just because you can build a doghouse doesn't mean you can build a castle, right? Your carpenter friend can probably build a castle. The same is true for vibe coding tools. What I do with my vibe coding tool is something completely different than what everybody else are doing with their vibe coding tool, whatever that tool happens to be. And I know for a fact that I can vibe code straight fucking into production, right? With like close to zero statistical probability of adding and introducing a bug into my code base. Can my cousin, who has never ever seen an IDE in his entire life, don't know what a compiler is, or the difference between an interpreted programming language and a compiled programming language, can he do that? He can, but he's not going to get the same results as I do. You see, we need to talk about this idea of replacing software developers with AI. Imagine the construction business all of a sudden inventing an automated hammer. I mean, they kind of did 50 years ago, right, with a nail gun. Does that mean that, you know, all building companies can get rid of all their carpenters and just like hire their grandmas and cousins and people who have absolutely no fucking idea about how to do carpenting stuff? Of course not. And the same is true for vibe coding tools. You see, vibe coding as a tool gives us tremendous amounts of power, right? Now, can citizen John Doe create something using vibe coding? Fuck yeah. he can use my tool amongst other things easily and become, capable of creating something. But what I can draw out of our vibe coding tool, and any vibe coding tool, is probably something completely different than whatever citizen John Doe can. So, firing software developers because of that AI will replace them is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my entire life. Period. Full stop. And I believe in vibe coding. And I create vibe coding tools. So here is the vibe coding tool I've developed. It's ridiculously simple to get started. You buy a Cloudlet from us or somehow get access to the open source version installed locally or whatever. I'm not going to help you with that. And you start it up. Quick start. One button. What can go wrong? So now the AI is going to list all functions it has and explain to you everything it can do with. And here you can see, okay, one thing it can do, it can create AI chatbots. Okay, I want to create an AI chatbot. You can also create CRUD APIs and backend code and generate backend code very well. And here you actually see an example of that. Choose a name for your AI chatbots. Okay, name should be Thomas. Let's call it Peter. Optionally crawl and scrape a website for training data. Okay, iniro.io. 5 pages. Send email function. Yes. I want to send leads to team@iniro.io. And when you're done, I want to vectorize the top. Plain English. The point being, of course, that this initiates a process, an automatic process that first of all checks to see if the machine learning type exists. If not, it creates it. It adds a default system instruction. Then it scrapes the landing page at iniro.io and creates uses that to create a sales executive type of system instruction. Then it starts crawling websites, checks to see if there's a sitemap, retrieves the sitemap. If not, it's going to crawl individual pages, etc., etc. And then it creates embeddings, etc., etc., etc. All in all, this process takes me 20 minutes if I'm to do it manually. Now I just wrote a sentence. It took me like 1 minute to write a sentence, and then I could go fetch some coffee, and 3-4 minutes later, the thing was just done, right? And I can already at this point go to create. I can open HyperID. Let me open it in a different tab here, modules, and here you see Peter, right? And here's the code it generated for me. This is 100% correct code. I know that because I can read the code. I created a programming language. I can spot a bug in this code in like 0.1 second. I can guarantee you this code works with 100% certainty. And in fact, I can prove it. Name, Thomas Hansen, email, thomas@gayasoul.com. Hello there, how's it going? Right, and in fact, this send email is actually implemented into the machine learning model that I can find if I go to this tab here now, and I choose the Peter guy here. Here you see it's system instruction, and then we can have a, edit the system instruction. We can change its, LLM, what model it's using beneath the scenes, etc., etc. And then we can even go in and see its training data. And as you can see, this training data, which is RAG data, ignoring the send email AI function, is actually fetched from iniro.io. Here you can see stuff that's fetched directly from Iniro's website, right? And this becomes RAG data. Now, if I go back here now, I can tell it to, I want you to create an embed script for the AI chatbot. Now it's going to bring me through another workflow, right? Let's see what it ends up with. It just went wrong. If I was a citizen now, this is the point where I'd fuck up. Create embeds. Okay, yeah, finally. Now, finally! Do you think a citizen would have managed to guide the AI into the correct way there? No fucking way. No fucking way. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude here, but I got 43 years of software development experience. Yes, I want to proceed with the defaults. Yet again, a bug. How do I even explain this to a citizen? Right? Now, of course, I improve upon the tool every single day. And I try to fix bugs like this every single day. But there's like an infinite amount of them. Right? They never ever stop. Right? So even though if I manage to somehow make this particular AI workflow 100% perfect, it's going to be another one that fails, right? At which point you need a guy with software development experience. Now I copy that guy, I went into etc. www, I create a new file, call it Peter.html. And then I can use vibe coding again. Create a kick-ass HTML landing page for me. And now I have the embed script on my clipboard. So now once this process is done, I can just paste in the embed script into the HTML and I can open the page in preview mode and I can play with my chatbot. 100% vibe coding. I haven't written a single line of code so far. Save it. Let's filter here, makes it easier to find it. Peter. Hi there, who are you? Hello, I'm the AI assistant for iNeedle.io. I'm here to help you understand how to create custom AI chatbots, AI agents, and expert systems using our no-code and low-code Magic Cloud platform. Whether you want to boost sales, reduce customer service costs, or automate business processes, I can guide you through our solutions and show you how easy it is to get started. 100% vibe coding. From nothing till end result AI chatbot that I can send the embed script on email to a new client, imagining I just got a new client for AI chatbot stuff, right? 100% vibe coded. If you only saw the first half of the video where I demonstrated our vibe coding tool, where I created the AI chatbot, you might be tempted to already at that point fire your software developers. But I mean, I couldn't even bring the thing for 10 minutes without needing my 43 years of software development experience. Now, of course, I created the tool. I know Hyperlambda, I created the programming language, I created the entirety of the platform, I created every single AI workflow, I created every single OpenAI integration point in my tool, etc., etc. So for me to spot a bug takes like 1 second, right? For a citizen developer to even understand what goes wrong requires reading 3 books and spending 2 months. Right? Now, I believe that citizen software development and traditional software development lives in a symbiotic relationship, and I believe that software developers whom are consistently bashing on vibe coding and citizen development and no code and love code, I believe that they are about to go extinct, to be honest with you, because the value proposition is simply too great to ignore. I mean, just doing the math on what I save now, I saved 20 minutes of work, right? And I reduced it down to 2-3 minutes in total, right? So the math behind it is simply too compelling to ignore. But if I don't have a technical resource that I can tap into whenever I'm stuck, then I'm screwed basically. And actually that is our business model in Ainiro, because when we sell a cloudlet, we sell something that's free. You can download it at freaking GitHub if you want to. And if you have those 2 months to read those 3 books and, read the source code and study it and spend like 400 hours, trying to figure out what went wrong during the create embed script AI workflow, then by all means go for it. I wish you good luck. However, if you pay me $170 per hour, I'll figure it out in 2 seconds. Have a nice day.